The song of life will open the doors to you at birth, and with song your body will be put to earth, the great Kazakh poet Abai wrote. Music accompanies us throughout our lives. When we are born, fall in love, break up, and part ways. If you think about it, everybody sings in their head every day. It happens to all of us.
Очень хорошее слово «перерождение». Перерождение итальянцы называют как рекреация.
Rebirth is a very good word. The Italians call it ricreazione. In creative terms, it's when you take something from the past and give it a new life. In my practice, I perform a lot of early music, the music from the Baroque and Renaissance periods. And I'm also interested in our traditional Kazakh music. We are all curious about what used to be, right?
Музыку меня интересует нашего казахского народа. Почему именно старинная музыка? Нам всегда интересно, что было раньше. Как люди жили, как они чувствовали, какие...
How people lived, what they felt, what kind of experiences and ideas they had. It's amazing that music can answer all these questions. You can understand people's joys, worries, and sufferings through music. To be honest, not much has Baroque changed over the past centuries. The themes and ideas remain the same.
Каких-то успехов, подъемов, взлетов, падений и так далее. Все это всегда воспевалось в музыке. Но именно язык, ведь мы же говорим о музыке как о языке, язык был другой.
But the language is different, and by language here, I'm implying the music itself, melodics, and style. Naturally, early language had different melodics, which can be noticed when we perform early Baroque music. This is the music of Mozart, Handel, Bach, Vivaldi. Last year, when I began to study traditional Kazakh music, I have stumbled upon incredible discoveries.
Музыку нашего казахского народа. И я пришел к невероятным для себя открытиям. К сожалению, не так уж много сохранилось, потому что в годы Курмангазы, Давлеткерей еще не было как таковой.
Unfortunately, in the days of famous Kazakh composers Kurmangazi and Davletkerey, people did not use written language, and those wonderful melodies were passed down by word of mouth. So only some pieces are preserved up to this day. But how impressive is that? To memorize, copy, and pass down this music through generations. This music gives a glimpse into our ancestors' minds. Studying traditional Kazakh and early Western European music prompts us to understand history and realize who we are.
Понимаешь, ты видишь историю, ты понимаешь, кто ты такой.
Despite its deceptive simplicity, early music has many secrets. Everything that is reflected or recorded in the sheet music conveys only 30% of the composer's intended message. So it requires a detailed study and scientific approach to figure it all out. In fact, that is what Batyrzhan Smakov does. His interest in early music began a while ago during his studies. The noble simplicity, virtuosity, and extravagance of early music fascinated him.
Когда у меня спрашивают, почему я занимаюсь старинной музыкой, я всегда отвечаю таким образом.
When people ask me why I study and work with early music, my answer is always the same.
Вперед. Но это движение зачастую приводит нас в некий тупик.
Humanity has advanced way forward in its progress, but this fast movement often leads us to some dead end. While early music allows us to stop for a second to look back and ponder on who we are.
Более мелодична по своей структуре, и она более гармонична по своему гармоническому строю. Эта музыка, она, как я говорил,
because it's more melodic in its structure and more balanced in its harmonic scale. As I said, Baroque music clears the mind and puts it in order, making us more stress-resistant.
Эта музыка лишена каких-то современных и очень сложных аккордов.
It has no complex modern chords. It's much simpler in its content and musical substance, and thus has a better healing effect on us.
Восприятие более целебно.
Знаете, для певцов, для вокалистов итальянский язык, он должен быть практически...
For vocalists, Italian should be practically a native language because the main world classics include many works by Italian composers, Verdi, Rossini, etc. Batyrzhan has a very distinctive voice, a counter-tenor, which is quite rare. There are only a few people like that. We had a famous compatriot, Erik Kurmangaliev. He was well known around the world and performed in the best concert halls.
Он выступал со Святославом Рихтером, он вообще выступал в лучших концертных залах мира. Вот. У Batyrzhana голос очень напоминает голос.
Batyrzhan's voice is very similar to the one of Erik Kurmangaliev. Regarding the repertoire that we perform together, of course it includes early Italian music, because his voice is perfect for that. He's very good.
И это у него очень здорово получалось.
Batyrzhan Smakov mentions that music, mathematics and astronomy were always intertwined. The Roman philosopher Boethius believed that a true musician acquires knowledge in the science of music not by slavery of the practical way, but by reason. This suggests that previously music was primarily based on understanding of mathematical laws.
7 нот, а у нас октава 8. А 7 ли нот вообще?
There are 7 notes in an octave, but octo means 8, and there are 12 semitones. Are there really 7 notes? Why exactly 7? How was it all created? Early music reveals some answers. Why does the staff have 5 lines? Why is the treble clef indicated on the note G? Few people know that there is also a third clef that unlocks all this music.
Соль. Скрипичный ключ пишется на ноте соль. А почему ключ фа или басовый ключ пишется на ноте фа? А мало кто знает, что есть еще третий ключ. Ключ, который открывает.
The C clef, which can be placed on any note, so a note C can even become a completely different note. All these numbers are related to each other mathematically. The most amazing thing is that music and math are truly intertwined.
Что музыка напрямую подчиняется математике. Старинная музыка, она по своей форме, она очень структурирована, то есть математична.
Early music is very structured in its form, it's mathematical. We have long known that music is closely connected with math in its musical code, structure, tempo, and rhythms, which are also organized in mathematical progression.
Которые тоже в математической прогрессии так или иначе структурируются. Музыка, когда она входит в наше сознание, она так или иначе связывается с нашими вибрациями, с нашими кодами.
And when music enters our consciousness, in some way or another, it connects with our vibrations. When music has the right mathematical and harmonic structure, it flows smoothly, like a balm to the soul. It makes people peaceful and calm, their thoughts balanced, and cognitive functions improved.
Уравновешиваются мысли, человек начинает лучше думать.
After studying at the Kazakh National University of Arts in Astana, Smakov traveled to Italy to study at the International Opera Academy and the Rossini Music Conservatory. Young Kazakh musician immediately stood out with his diligence and extremely rare voice. Batyrzhan is a countertenor, the highest male opera voice, which is designed mainly for early operas. In Italy, Batyrzhan was very much in demand and, in fact, extremely busy. He directed the Perla Verda opera choir, taught music at school, and performed various concerts. He also worked with the music critic Paolo Santarelli, organizing a series of concerts named The Art of Early Music.
Сейчас преподаю в Казахском национальном.
Now I teach at the Kazakh National University of Arts, which I'm very proud of. I have my own team, a student choir, which I love very much, and I also have the opportunity to perform concerts. Batyrzhan actively participates in the organization of international level events at the university. For example, Kazakh choral art, history, theory, innovations, roundtable. Such meetings include presentations of books, scientific articles, collections of composers' works. And foreign musicians express genuine interest in Kazakh choral culture and the repertoires of our composers.
И за вот только один учебный год, этот год, да,
He held more than 30 concerts involving the choir in one school year alone. His projects are always impressive, large-scale, which include works by Verdi and Rossini. It's a priceless contribution.
произведения там Джузеппе Верди, Россини, да, крупные хоровые произведения. Это неоценимый вклад сейчас идет в его лице, потому что репертуар
Batyrzhan also updates the repertoire, reintroduces Kazakh choral music with a focus on its traditional basis, and promotes it with new arrangements by contemporary composers, our choir directors.
Переложение наших современных композиторов, наших хоровых дирижеров для хоровых коллективов. Это неоценимый вклад. Сейчас помимо большой такой творческой деятельности.
In addition to creative and concert activities, Batyrzhan is engaged in scientific work. At the moment, he's working on an anthology of Kazakh choral music. It's a huge work which has been going on for many years. He collects all the arrangements since the emergence of Kazakh choral art in the 20s. The first volumes have already been published, and I think there's many more to come.
Было раньше, да, культура песенная, а вот сейчас вот эти вот все переложения, он это в поиске, он собирает это.
Batyrzhan Smakov performs in many countries around the world and mostly features Kazakh music. He plans to create an anthology of Kazakh choral music and organize an early music festival in Kazakhstan.
Наш Казахский национальный университет искусств ведет очень активную международную работу.
Kazakh National University of Arts is very active on an international arena. We have memorandums with more than 60 conservatories around the world. We also organize contests, festivals, concerts in different countries.
Венеция, звуки Венеции, в консерватории Бенедетто Марчелло ди Венеция. Мы провели юношеский конкурс, более 20 было участников наших молодых талантов.
It was a great honor to hold Sounds of Venice contest at the Benedetto Marcello Conservatory in Venice. We also organized a youth competition with more than 20 participants from Kazakhstan, US, Europe, and many of our kids became recipients.
И также, в общем и в целом, развивают культуру и искусство нашего подрастающего поколения. Также мы проводим конкурсы в Арабских Эмиратах, также мы проводим конкурсы.
These contests create new platforms for our young performers, develop their level of culture and art.
В других странах Европы проходят. Но что хочу сказать, все эти творческие конкурсы, они мало того, что
Among other things, creative contests also help the world understand Kazakh culture. After all, our artists bring Kazakh music to the international stage.
Ведь наши дети, когда едут и участвуют, они привозят казахскую программу.